Oh, why did it switch? Come on, stupid. Okay. Brandon, today I would like to introduce a new segment, Storytime, here at the Fucking Do It podcast. I have with me my copy of Brandon Spots His Sign.
Shit, you bought it.
I told you I bought
Hell
it.
yeah.
When we clicked on the links and stuff.
Yeah, you dug into it?
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I thought I would read it here on the podcast. First time for you, for me. It's very short, so I don't think it'll take that long.
Okay.
I apologize ahead of time if I fuck up the names.
For the podcast listeners, this is going to be an interesting one if you're not watching the podcast.
Yeah. So we'll just go straight through it. I'll read it like I read stories to Hazel at night every night. This is Brandon Spots His Sign.
Hey, that's my name.
By Sheletta, Brundidge, and Lily Coyle. Pictures by Darcy Bell-Meyers.
Nice.
And I really like the illustrations. I'm the second Brundidge baby Brandon. I love taking trips in our RV. I love warm weather. I love my family, but I don't always love trying new things. I have autism, and sometimes new things can be scary. There's Brandon on the RV waving.
Aww.
He's got glasses. Love his glasses. My dad is a good swimmer. He does not have autism. What if I can't swim? What if the water's too cold? What if it goes up my nose? But then I spot a sign. And there's a sign on a blank RV that says, "Let's go, Brandon." And off I go.
Aww. Is that all tens on the scores?
All tens on the scoreboard. We have
nice.
We have an illustration of Brandon jumping off the high dive.
Nice.
My sister, Cameron, reads all the time. She has autism like me, but she does not stutter like I do sometimes. What if I stutter? What if I say the words wrong? What if people laugh at me? But then I read a sign. And we have an old white lady with a "Let's go, Brandon" sign on a fucking golf cart. And I go on. We have Brandon in his garb.
Full on Ren Fair thespian.
Reading Shakespeare.
Reading Shakespeare.
Yeah,
nice.
Just going for it. Romeos and the Juliets. Everybody wants my big brother Andrew on their team because he's a great soccer player. He doesn't have autism like I do. What if those kids don't like me? What if they won't pass the ball to me? What if the ball hits me? Then I find a sign. and the sign this time comes courtesy of a t-shirt on a local white kid running past.
I'm sensing a theme with these signs. It's the name Brandon.
And I go out. And just like Pele, Brandon sinks a goal.
No.
Goal!
Full on $6 million man, that shit, didn't he?
Yeah. Through the legs. My mom is a great dancer. She does not have autism. What if somebody bumps me? What if the music gets too loud? What if I trip? But then I see a sign.
She's wearing like a. Is it a vest?
Yeah, it's a "Let's Go Brandon" vest. Some lady is doing her
boot scooting boogiest.
Her boot scooting boogie. And I go along, and here's Brandon.
Okay.
We won't mention that. We won't go.
Yeah.
There. Yes, Brandon's doing the damn thing.
Right on. Okay.
My brother Daniel also has autism. He loves cars. He wants me to ride with him. What if it goes too fast? What if it makes me dizzy? What if the seatbelt doesn't work? There's my sign. And we got, this time it's on a trucker hat. Because of course it is.
Of course it is. God, that guy looks way too much like me.
And off I go. There goes Brandon in his car.
Yeah.
Nice. Can you tell what kind of car that is, Brandon?
Not a real car.
Oh, I wondered if it was like based.
Nah, it looks like it's hobbled together from a couple different things, but honestly, it's probably a smart move with a children's book. They don't want any sort of litigious silliness happening.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. And then we have 10 good ways to encourage people who have autism. Number 1, ask me if I want to join in. I like to be invited. I might say no thanks, and that's okay. Number 2, tell me what to expect. Sometimes I worry when I don't know what will happen next. Number 3, show me pictures. Seeing what to expect helps me a lot too. 4, go first. After I see you do it, I'll understand what will happen. I might take a turn next. Number 5, tell me it's okay to watch. I can join in when I'm comfortable. It's easier for me to do that when nobody is pressuring me. 6, remind me that being brave means doing something even when afraid. It's okay to be afraid. Number 7, tell me you are my friend whether I join in or not. You like me for who I am. This makes me feel good and powerful. Number 8, give me a choice. Having a choice helps me feel more in control. 9, ask me how you can help. I might need something to make me feel safe, like headphones or a life jacket. And number 10, just be my friend. I grow and learn new things every day, even if I'm not ready to do something today. I might be ready tomorrow. By Kimberly Carlson. So that's your book, Brandon.
That is a delightful story of overcoming adversity in a very simple process. And also that guideline, that 10 things, that feels like a really great way to introduce kids to being, I don't know if the word comfortable, but like introducing kids who do not have autism and helping them understand how kids with autism process and kind of, erasing a lot of the stigma that may come with it, because kids are awful. Like,
Yes.
Most of the time unintentionally so, but they're awful.
Yeah.
And a bit of very clear and clean understanding can really go a long way.
Yeah, I fucking love this book. I'm reading it to Hazel as soon as I get back from vacation.
Nice.
This is awesome. I encourage everyone to get it just because it deserves it, but also like, I don't know, it's a dumb phrase that needs to be reclaimed.
It is a dumb phrase. I'm curious how you're going to go about explaining the flags and everything to your daughter.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, we don't see them a lot in our area, but I can just imagine her being like, hey, that's Brandon's sign.
Right. But like that's kind of thing is like, why are there flags everywhere? But I guess kids don't necessarily need that sort of prompting. So that's a wink and a nod to everybody else. But
yeah. What did you think of your story, Brandon? Do you feel more encouraged now?
Yeah, I feel encouraged that we can take awful things and turn them into positive messages, provided we ignore all of the bullshit context that anyone else puts out there.
Yes.
If we take the core of the message and just ignore everybody else's bullshit.
That's right.
What about shut up? Shut up.
Nice. All right. We'll start the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brandon Chalmers, tell the people what's happening.
Kids, it's time to settle in and have yourself a little chit chat. Because if you are a Gen Xer, the idea of a guy who looks like me starting a very difficult conversation by popping a beer is going to feel like home. Hang on a second. That is good. Now, Sit down, shut up. Don't take a knee. Your helmet's not a chair. Spin that thing around. I want you to look like AC Slater from Saved by the Bell. All right, Preppy, let's do this thing. Welcome, one and all, to the fucking Do-It-Cast, part of the Hard Knock Media Podcasting Network. Now, when I say Hard Knock Media, I mean NOC as in Nerds of Color. And that means that you, if you happen to be entitled, bearded, mostly male, happen to look maybe a bit like me, now's the time for listening. Now's the time for sitting the fuck down and shutting the fuck up. Just nuzzle right down into that way too expensive office chair that you managed to get the company to pay for and listen to you boys, because I'm somehow managed to get grandfathered in, but please understand, I know I am on incredibly thin ice at all times. Now, what you can find on this podcast network are other people who don't look like me, who have perspectives about things all over the world that you should absolutely fucking listen to. Guys like Jamie Noguchi, guys like Keith Chow, about toys and all sorts of pop culture shit, music and movie reviews, and we do a ton of interviews. The YouTube channel is fucking lit with all sorts of rad things.
It's popping off.
Absolutely. The Facebook feed that we have for this has everything. The Instagram feed gives you a ton of links if you were looking for an update on an upcoming movie, any sort of entertainment stuff, anything really pop culture. We got what you need. And then we have in-depth interviews with the stars, with the writers, with the producers, with anyone who we can manage to get our hands on. We start picking their brain and start getting their perspective so you can understand and feel confident that the things that you think you might want to watch, you actually want to watch. Because the fucking entertainment industry is a goddamn minefield of dickhead jokes and people trying to, why are you so sensitive? Shut the fuck up. I had an ass load this week. And it's only Tuesday of why are you so sensitive?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, kids, please understand that this is going to be a place where we're not going to be douchebags. We're not going to be dickheads about things. We're going to treat people as equals. And if you don't like that, find the fucking door. And if you don't like that and you still can't seem to find the fucking door, we'll find it for you. All right? Now, Jamie, strap in. Let's fucking do this thing. How the fuck are you?
I'm fucking good.
Yeah, I'm a little saucy today. I don't know if you noticed, but
fucking Do-It-Cast, finding doors for your ass since 1993.
Dude, if I've learned anything, it is high time to just stop tolerating anybody else's bullshit and just start asking questions like, I won't get into the specifics of this, but I heard someone do something that they really shouldn't have done. And I looked at them and instead of thinking, sorry, I didn't even look when I gave the first response. I just said out loud in a room full of people, don't do that. There was a long pause. They said, don't do what? I said, don't do that. They said, what? I said, the thing that you wouldn't do if they were standing in front of you.
Oh boy.
They mumbled something. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that? They said nothing. And I said, okay. That's how we're going to handle shit from here on in.
Wow.
That's the definition of being kind.
Wow. So
I'm done dealing with your uncles. I'm done dealing with your fucking weird friends who you've been tolerating since college who've really kind of gotten fucking out of hand. Time to cut them bitches loose. They make you look bad. They really do. Just fucking cut bait. They got to go. They got to go.
I kind of did that recently.
Yeah, I know. And that's they got to go. If you feel icky about it, like if you see it and you go, stop justifying the behavior. If you don't want to get into it with them because it doesn't feel like it's worth it, trust that instinct, cut bait and go. Yeah. If they're interested in you, they'll have the conversation. Otherwise, they know what they did. They're good. Because if they ain't chasing you at that point, fuck it, let them go.
Yeah,
I know that's kind of childish. We're going making it the other person's responsibility to go chase, but like friendships go both ways, and somebody's got to decide whether or not it's worth it. And if you decide it's not, and they go chasing and they want to have the conversation, fine, but don't force yourself into these situations with these people. You shouldn't have to, unless you're being paid. Then deal with them in a not so diplomatic manner, but don't get yourself canned. just go and find another job if your employer isn't tolerant of their bullshit.
Yeah.
They're never going to change. You're never going to change them. Seriously, trust me on this. Also, stay the fuck off Twitter about that shit. Putting things on blast lives forever on the internet.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like, I'm on Twitter all the time, but like, it's very rarely my own personal shit. Like, it's mostly posting about politics, which is also personal. But like, you know, if I have a beef with somebody,
right?
Like, I don't put that on blast.
Right.
Like, I don't subtweet that out to, like, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Please understand that if you see something on the internet that you don't like and you at someone, you are in a public fight that will last forever because the internet doesn't go away. If you subtweet and anyone actually gives a shit, the person who you're subtweeting about will find out and it will last forever. So make your life choice.
Yeah.
Cowboy up and pick a fight or let it go.
Yeah.
Delete your Twitter account. Fucking leave.
Oh man.
I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah. Well, Brandon, besides showing motherfuckers the door, what have you been geeking on?
Tommy. Fucking new season of Peaky Blinders. We're only like, I don't know, a third of the way through it or something that.
Oh boy.
But I am excited. Arthur just got his group of teenagers with attitude.
Yes.
So I immediately looked at my wife. I was like, fucking baller. This weird London Zordon is about to go kick some ass.
I was about to say, like, Arthur as like drugged out Zordon,
right? Yeah,
has to be the funniest fucking.
Ida, give me teenagers with attitude. Yeah,
Ranger.
Yeah,
we're gonna show them how we do it in Birmingham.
Yeah, so I literally just came down after the end of that episode, so I'm
yeah.
I know I've got a ways to go, but yeah, I'm excited.
We've been watching it. We're at the last episode, and then Audrey and Hazel went on vacation. So like, I have 2 weeks to wait until the last episode. Last episode is an hour 20. So they got a lot of shit to get through. And then it doesn't end because they're finishing the entire series off with a movie.
With a movie, right? They're doing Deadwood style.
Yeah. So
only they're actually planning it in advance, so it'll seem way more cohesive.
Yeah. There's stuff that's really interesting throughout. There's some plot threads that I don't quite understand. Like, I need a map. I need to go back and binge the rest of it so I can like remember.
Maybe that's what you do over the next 2 weeks. Like, until they're back, you put the pause on it, you double back, and you start off tomorrow morning when you're done the podcast with the ring of the bell and a red right hand and fucking just start digging through that shit.
Oh my
I know.
God.
I know.
I fucking love that song. And they don't play it in the first 2 episodes. And I'm just like, where's the song?
I know. But the music they have chosen so far is super fucking good.
That distorted guitar sound. Just like, I can't tell if they're taking a bow and like whacking a string with heavy distortion or if they're just plucking. But it's like, oh my God. Everything about the show it just grabs you. These are all terrible people, by the way. Like,
well, yeah. No one's like, I want to be like the Peaky Blinders. I mean, unless you maybe have like a Punisher sticker with a Union Jack inside of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they have that bullshit?
I don't know. I have not seen people with the haircut and the hat walking around at the rallies. So like, I don't know. I hope the haircut is not an issue because you don't have any razor blades in the brim of your baseball cap, do you?
I'm gonna have to find out because I decided a little while back it's gonna be the summer of the bun. I'm bringing back the douchebag fuckboy man bun.
Nice.
Take us on. So we'll see how right. Yeah. Remember, boys.
God,
fucking Arthur's the best. He's the absolute best.
Yeah, Audrey was telling me, she's like, I don't give a shit about gangster stuff. I don't care about like the Italian mob stuff, but for some reason the Peaky Blinders get her. And I'm like, I understand that. Cause like, I don't know. I mean, I watch a lot of them. Like anytime there's another Scorsese mob movie, I'll watch that shit, but it's not like, I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't grab me. Like I'll watch it because I need something while I'm working. But like for some reason, the English style just grabs you or grabs me for some reason.
Yeah, there's a movie, I think you and I talked about it. It's got Tom Hardy stars in it where he plays both of the Cree brothers, who are the other gangsters who basically keep the mob out of England. That is very good. But I think it's more of it's a period piece. So you don't feel like the douchebags who were alive when you're alive getting away with bullshit that you're like, how the fuck did you? Because you set the thing in the 20s or the 30s and you're like, okay, no problem. I can get behind this. So it's like, all right, this totally makes sense. This is why Boardwalk Empire is so good. Also Steve Buscemi, and the rest of that cast, because when you remember that, oh yeah, Steve Buscemi's fucking right hand toward the latter seasons is goddamn Daredevil. You're like, yeah, fuck yeah. But yeah, like
that's it. Maybe it's the period aspect.
Yeah, I think it's the period piece because you are picking up a story of names that you might recognize, which make you feel like you are picking up in a part of history that you're like, oh, I know about that. You know, like I'm using Boardwalk Empire as an example, but like when Lucky Luciano was suddenly shown up in the cast, it was like, I recognize that name.
Yeah.
Now I understand where we are with everything. Oh, that's right. Fuck. Everything's connected. Yeah. And you're like, okay. And then Capone shows up and you're like, oh, fuck. Okay. And you start to really kind of get invested in these people as people. And it creates that very difficult part of your brain where you start to humanize and almost have a bit of empathy for people like Capone.
Yeah.
You're like, I shouldn't fucking like this guy. He's awful. I know he's awful. Yeah. History has taught me this man is awful. And yet I see this.
He did the bad thing.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah. It's like, I think that's why The Godfather is so good versus like whatever the fucking the more recent ones. Like maybe Scorsese's an outlier. I don't know. But like it's why I watch Peaky Blinders over Sopranos, and I enjoy Sopranos quite a lot, but for a very different reason. Like
I've never gotten in, like when Sopranos came out, everybody I knew was talking about it but we didn't have HBO, so we never bothered.
Right.
Now that we have Max, I asked Audrey, she was like, I asked her, like, do you want to try the Sopranos? And she was like, nah.
Have you?
Nah, I haven't.
You should. Like the mob stuff is a backdrop for a way too tough guy coming to grips with all of his weaknesses and his inability to manage the most basic shit while also trying to pretend like he's a puppet dictator. And that grip of him having panic attacks and getting excited about ducks in his swimming pool and everything else like that. And literally like being in a situation where he needs to call a hit on somebody and somebody's questioning his fucking leadership. And they're like, what are you, soft? And he's literally in the middle of a panic attack and suddenly has this like tunnel vision and beats a guy mercilessly with a telephone. Like fucking literally like that classic like telephone hit somebody and the bell rings noise. Right, yeah, that stung, and then him doing, you ever talk to me, motherfucker? Stomp, and then like composes himself, and we're like, T, you all right? And he's like, I'm all right. Oh, it's fine, it's okay. Somebody get him a wet nap or something like that. Go pay for his hospital bills, and like breaks off $1,000 in 20s and throws it on top of his lifeless body, and then walks away. It's like that mix of trying to come to grips with who he is super good, because also he wants to be a good dad, but also he sucks at being a dad. Yeah. And it is such a fucking time capsule for the early 2000s. You are going to absolutely relate to just the world that they're in. You're gonna be like, oh, fuck, I remember that.
They went to the Sam Goody? Shit.
Like going back and watching it, because I watched it maybe like a year ago. Going back and watching it now in its completion really makes it good. And I'd argue like the first 4 seasons especially are super fucking good, but the cast is killer. So I can highly recommend, like, after you go through the Peaky Blinders rewatch, this way that final episode will make fucking sense.
Yeah.
I think you should chip away at Sopranos. I really do. I think you'd enjoy it. Because it's also got a lot of stuff where you could do it as background noise, because a lot of it is just dialogue.
Yeah. That seems perfect. The weird thing is, like, I've stopped watching all the crime stuff, but like when it came to something like The Wire just sucked me in right away.
Oh, The Wire is so good. Did you see We Own the City?
Not yet. Is it all done?
It's all done. It's very short, and fuck is it good. And it's true.
I'll have to.
It's all true story.
I'll have to dig into that next.
Yeah, that is a you watch, because it is almost, like, in some cases it's almost difficult viewing, but also added bonus. There's a ton of people from The Wire in it.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh shit.
Oh, there's another show that's on HBO that we're just going to be talking about HBO the entire time.
Turns out
the Tokyo Vice, Rinko Kikuchi. It's about this, and it's a familiar trope. White guy goes to Japan, does all this stuff, but it's a reporter who gets entrenched in like the Yakuza culture there.
Oh, okay.
I've seen ads for it. I haven't watched it yet, but I know Rinko Kikuchi is in it and Ken Watanabe are both in it. So like I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
I what would I know Rinko from?
She was Mako Mori.
Oh, okay.
And she was
all right.
And she was in Westworld, where they did the Koto Japanese version of Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With.
Oh, that's right.
Like sawing that dude's face.
Yeah. What was that? Was that third season? Was that third season or second season?
I think third season.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's when they were in Japantown and she was just like,
yeah.
You ain't got no chin. I ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, I was like, I recognize the fucking name, but I cannot put a face to it. And okay, yeah I was like, because I watch Ken Watanabe in anything, so
it had her,
okay,
and it had him and some random white dude. And
I'm good.
Like, I don't care about him.
I don't really need. Frankly, I don't even really need a plot. I just need to know that, like. My only other question, and now I'm feeling like a shithead asking, but is it a US series just based in Tokyo?
I don't know. It's on HBO Max and it's new. So like I don't know the production, but I think except for the white guy, everyone is Japanese.
Right. Okay.
So I'm assuming it was like a Japanese production.
Cool.
Or like
that's rad.
Or like a simulcast, or like however HBO works it out.
More just trying to kind of understand background at this point and kind of have an idea what I'm getting into. But honestly, I'll, like all things, I don't really need a trailer. I'm good. Like you've dangled enough carrot that I'm like, fuck it, I'm here for it.
All right. Well, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. We're just going to talk about TV, because what I've been geeking on is I just started Obi-Wan. I started episode 1.
Yes.
Before we got on here.
I wonder why you texted me that.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, huh?
I think I like Star Wars when it's weird as shit. And I love the giant space manta ray sushi, where like Obi-Wan's job is to just slice his sushi, like giant space sushi very cleanly and nice.
Right. Yeah. So someone watched Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
And went, that Ron Perlman's onto something.
Yeah. We need more of that,
which
in our Star Wars.
Right. But here's the question that I have. What fucking creature is that?
Yeah.
Because it has to be fresh for them to be able to cut the meat off of it, but it's fucking big enough that you can work in its skeleton. Right. They're working through its skeleton. So like, what fucking creature is that? How have we never seen that before? And where the fuck does that thing live?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is like, where I think it might be a thing where you ferment the meat, like you let it stay out in the sun and get nice and fermented, and maybe it's a delicacy. But like, where's all this shit in all the other movies? Like, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, this is good Star Wars, where it's just like fucking weird and it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Right, because that answers the question. Like, what the fuck was he doing? Where did he get any money to do anything? Because fucking Jedi are poor. Like,
yeah.
And I was always under the impression that he seems kind of shifty and a little clever, that the idea of robbing people who are rich and or the Empire wouldn't bother him. So he'd just be a thief.
Yeah.
And just use the Force to just trick people into steal shit. Right. Like, not overdo it, but have a nice little bit of pocket change for himself. Yeah. Have someone else always buy him a drink. Like, just clever ways to handle everything.
Does the meat packing, do they ever get back to it? Like, do we see the more meat getting cut out of the creature throughout the series, or is that all we see of it?
I think you're going to get through episode 2 still having a bit of that.
Because to me, it looked like a giant space manta ray that was on its side.
Right. Yeah. So something like that.
So that made me feel like it would kind of float.
Right. Does it right. But does it move through the sand? Does it move through, Jesus Christ, the sky? Like,
because aren't there space whales in one of the cartoons?
Yeah, in the episode toward the end of Clone Wars, you get the defected clones,
space whales.
Yeah.
Maybe it does both. Maybe it sleeps in the sand
and then
the
burrows, and then
when it's time to come
and then
out,
the Jawas run up, and just fucking.
I love the Jawa dude. The Jawa trader.
That's gonna get so much good.
I was very pleased with that, and I was like, I could watch a show of the Jawas just going on their trade runs, and then I could watch a show of processing fucking space meat.
We've talked about this before. A Star Wars cooking show. Fucking honestly, Pawn Stars, but it's just Jawas.
Yes, I was thinking the exact same fucking thing when he showed up. I was like, there's something here. Like,
there's absolutely something here. The idea that everyone my favorite part would be everyone walks in, has a conversation. They all understand the Jawas. We don't. And when they do subtitles, it just says incoherent noises. We never know. They do the interviews and everything else like that. We just pick up on context.
Yeah, I think that's actually what I really want is a anthology series set in the Star Wars universe with an episode of that, an episode of Star Wars Chopper, an episode.
Right. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Where we wanted to do a nature show.
Yeah. Nature show, a food processing show. Also, is that how you eat it, or does that get sent off to a fancy restaurant? And then they process it.
Right, because we've never seen a fancy restaurant in Tatooine.
Right.
So because we don't know how big, are there giant cities on Tatooine that we just haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
Is Mos Eisley the biggest city that's there? How does any of that work?
Yeah. And then I saw that Obi-Wan has a similar food thing that inflates like Rey did on Jakku.
Yeah. Right.
Is that shitty food, or did he get a different quality? Are there different qualities of inflatable?
I assume there's different qualities, but it's nice that the technology's been around for that long.
Yeah. So there's a lot of world stuff in there that
because
I don't give a shit about this. And then I started it and I was like, I kind of give a shit about it.
Right. Because what I've noticed when it comes to the Star Wars universe, at least for the most part, is there's very little to no TV anywhere.
No entertainment.
No entertainment whatsoever. Hang
Except
on,
for the
that's
bar.
And Jawa's barge. When they did that recut,
yes.
Yeah, they got music and they got dancing. But other than when Obi-Wan, I think, is on Coruscant and he goes to visit his buddy, the four-armed guy who runs the diner, it's the only it's one of the few times you ever see food, real food, kind of highlight, or at least the idea of real food, they're just being greasy spoons that people go into. And then what the fuck does that menu look like?
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Or can you only get the chef's special?
Right. We're back to my favorite fucking food truck and meme on the internet, where the guy's like, what is it? $1 grilled cheese. It's government bread. It's government butter. It's American cheese. You give me $5, you're getting 5 sandwiches. Like just
Yes.
It's just literally, it's like the name of the place is just called Portions, and that's where that guy, that's where Simon Pegg gets the line from. One portion. Yes.
Well, we know they have toys because Obi-Wan buys a toy to give to the boy, so they have toys.
Right.
They don't have shows, but they have toys at least.
They have toys, right? Which means, how do you get the idea for the toys?
And who is?
I mean, I know the answer to this. It's a fucking spaceship that people actually have. So
everybody loves spaceships. Like everybody loves spaceships.
Right.
But like, are there toy makers? And if so, like, are there toy makers? Is Tashi Station like Akihabara, where they have all the fancy toys and stuff, and you can get parts for your souped up choppers and shit?
Somehow I really doubt that, though, because wasn't Luke only talking about like getting evaporator parts or something like that?
Yeah, or hanging out with his friends at Tashi Station, like,
what friends? What friends? What friends?
I'll have you know, in the audio reenactment of the first Star Wars movie, he actually has a whole bunch of friends, and it's Mark Hamill, and so like he's doing the acting with a whole bunch of like, is it Wedge or something like that? I don't know.
Wedge. Oh, because that's like, where Wedge is from. Okay. That's right. Yeah.
Hang out in Tashi Station.
Okay.
This whole section of it, and I was like,
that's right. I forgot he knows Wedge.
Yeah, and I was like, this is kind of cool. Why was this never filmed? But they did like a BBC radio drama, and like part of it was like it was more whiny Luke, but we had more of a backstory.
Right. See, that's right. I have no interest in Luke being like Anakin. None. Ever. In anything. Like, honestly, even him in Jedi trying to be cool, he sucks.
Yeah.
OG 70s and 80s Luke couldn't still be cool. Mark Hamill seems like a fucking delightful human being. Oh, yeah. I'd never let his margarita glass go empty if he were in my presence. Yes. I would sing his praise. He's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, he's cool now being Mark Hamill, but Luke Skywalker has never and will never be cool.
I kind of agree with that. And
he dresses like a fucking youth leader at a Christian Bible camp. Like, his version of cool is a black button down. Like, he's
with that Mandarin collar thing.
Right. Yeah. He put on like a shitty version of like Lando's cape. He's cosplaying as a cool guy.
Oh man.
He dresses like a maitre d' when he wants to be fucking cool. Like, Luke is not cool.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think a lot of the Tatooine stuff that they put in there, I liked it. I was like, I think I'm bored with Tatooine. And then we saw all this other stuff and I'm like, I'm suddenly not bored with Tatooine.
Right.
And the Leia stuff on Alderaan, we've never seen Alderaan before. And
I know. And how fucking good is Leia? Because
so good.
Give it time. If you haven't fallen in love, you are going to fall in love.
Well, I love her dressing down her cousin like, bitch, adults are talking, get the fuck out.
Right.
I can think for myself. You can only think you like your daddy because you're afraid because you're a little bitch.
Yeah. The sassiness in her, even compared to your own little one, is like, I see that. I recognize that very much.
Yeah. And I love that Organa is a meathead, like a Bail Organa is like a gearhead, because he was like, what'd you see? Oh, I saw this freighter and I saw this thing going off and I saw this thing. And he was like, they're probably hunting pirates. She said, that's what I said.
Right. Seeing Jimmy Smits be a dad is fucking great because he's the most dad because he's like, we have trade regulations and everything else like that. It's a monster truck outside.
Yeah.
Like, just it's like, fuck. There is nothing. I can't think of a time when I have seen Jimmy Smits in something that I haven't loved him in.
Yeah. He's been good in a lot of shit.
That is a guy who every time I see him in the role, I have enjoyed his performance and also his character.
Yeah. He was really good in Dexter.
In what?
In Dexter. He was kind of freaky in Dexter. But
he was great. He was great in that. Yeah. He was outstanding in Sons of Anarchy. He managed to pull those fucking latter seasons out of the goddamn gutter.
But yeah, the Alderaan stuff was great. the three kidnappers running after her. That's when they lost me. I was like, you motherfuckers can't run in a forest to catch a little girl.
No. No, they're spaceport bitches.
I guess so.
They're spaceport bitches. They don't understand the forest.
They were not running well, and I just saw them falling down. I was like, "She's right there," and they're just
right. But like we have watched Home Alone. The idea, the wet bandits, quite literally, their job was to rob houses, and even then, they managed to have trouble running up a flight of stairs.
Yeah. I guess that is the point. Cause like later in at the tail end of the episode, they're like, kidnapping kids. That's fucked up. We shouldn't be doing this. So I guess that kind of,
right. Yeah. They're desperate.
Yeah.
And they're going to take whatever paying gig they can get.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved her little robot, batteries not included.
Yes.
Thing.
Fuck. Thank you for getting the proper reference for that.
Yeah.
That thing's goddamn adorable. And
they need to make toys of that shit. They need to make model kits of that shit.
Yup.
The Facebook, the BB-8 Facebook page needs to start, doing models of that shit.
Yes. Yeah. The only thing I want to figure out is how somebody hooks a drone up to that, like one of the little drones inside.
Yeah.
So this way it actually flies.
God, it's so cute. It got smashed. Does it come back? Does she get to repair it?
Do you want me to start giving away all of this stuff?
I don't give a shit. Like, I know Obi-Wan's gonna live, and I know Leia's gonna live. But
right, fair enough. I get that. Yes, it does come back.
Yeah.
Yes,
a little robot boy.
Yeah. So you will also be excited coming up for a cameo from Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, okay.
And a cameo from Game of Thrones.
Okay. Well, I like Sung Kang as the fifth brother.
Yes.
I was like, why do I recognize his voice? I looked it up and I was like, it's fucking
right. Yeah. And making sure, because you notice he hasn't caught any real heat, at least near as I can tell from the internet. And why? Like I was talking about the other week, tricorder hat, colonial shit.
Yeah.
Made white people comfortable.
Yes.
Second we see the tricorner hat, we're like, maybe that guy's all right.
Yeah. But like already episode 1, him and Riva and the Grand Inquisitor, they're giving me a lot. They're giving me a lot to work with. There's backstory there.
Yep.
Riva's got a big ass chip on her fucking shoulder.
You're going to get so much backstory. It's going to be fucking rad. You were going to be excited about it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm excited. The way it opened, they cut together those movies and they made it look amazing.
And this show will continue, as I have been watching, to hopefully settle some of the more aggressive of our group who hate the prequels just so to get them to settle down just a little fucking bit.
I mean, I don't like the prequels, and I saw that in that opening segment and I was like, maybe I like the prequels. Like, holy shit.
Well, Jamie, welcome to how I've always viewed the prequels. That recap, I was like, fuck yeah, they got that 100% right.
Yeah.
Nicole looks at me, she's like, that looked really good. And I was like, you damn right it did. You damn right it did.
Because they cut out a lot of the bullshit. They just
I know.
gave us the best part.
I know. I get it. But like sometimes you need a little foreplay. I watched way too many seasons of fucking West Wing and did the walk and talks. I understand what it's like to build a little fucking foreplay. Yeah. I'm sorry that the audience now can't handle a little fucking rimming before we fuck. It's not my fault.
Yeah. I was excited. I was impressed more than anything. I saw this recap and I was like, damn, I want to know more about that Jedi lady in the beginning who was teaching them Jedi Kung Fu.
Yeah. I hope we get more of that.
Yeah. I also noticed something about the way the Jedi move in that opening scene. It's very flashy. It is inefficient as hell. If you're trying to save a motherfucker, like every time you do the flippy do, you open yourself, bang,
Yeah.
And that's how they get got. And I was like, y'all should have a shield, like, or like
clearly they don't have the technology for shields.
A shield, or while you're doing this, move a motherfucker. Like grab a stormtrooper or grab a clone trooper, hold him up as a body, as a shield and you run out the door with them.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. You gotta remember, clone troopers not droids anymore. So
that's true.
There's
some meat.
Yeah, there's quite literally some wetter pieces going on there. So,
but yeah, I saw that and I was like, no. But I did like that we got some younglings. I did like that we got some younglings escaping. It's pretty clear to me that some of those younglings grew up to be the haters, because they're Jedi as well. But they're not Sith, which is interesting because like the Sith, there can only be two or whatever.
Yeah, but not being Sith and being part of the Empire are two very different things.
Well, like we know they're Jedi, and I have always assumed that like Jedi could, the way they've talked about the Force throughout the prequels and the sequels is that like you can sort of kind of see the future if you're really in tune with it, and then if you can see the future, you can kind of tell when other Jedi are close. But I guess that's not true because like the Inquisitors have to just yell at people. It's like, where's the Jedi?
Well,
where's the Jedi? Where's the Jedi?
They're not really Jedi, and they're not trained in the same sense of being on, like, because I always wondered if that's what side of the Force are you on? Is that a respect of culture? Is that a bonding of past history? Because obviously talking to the dead becomes kind of a thing. So like, are the late Jedi what bonds all of the current ones and helps them kind of push through situations and like, I never really understood that, but like, yeah, there's no like Highlander rules when it comes to being Force sensitive, and I think that might be what you're looking for.
That's
where you're like, look, the fucking Kurgan could find McLeod anywhere. Like, fucking, he goes to get a burger, is like, Highlander, no pickles on that. Highlander.
And fucking Ramirez with his Scottish accent.
Right, yes, the Scottish Spaniard.
Hello.
My name is Ramirez.
Hello, McLeod.
Like, all right, sure. You know what?
You brought
fucking
a sword
James
to
Bond
a gunfight.
Right. Right. And then
winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Right. And then McLeod trying to like whisper, act his way through everything. I can't swim. You understand that I can't swim? Well done over the Anjo. Right. Ha ha.
That's the quickening.
Yeah. Well, now, McLeod, look who this little lass is, and that's nice. Like,
but yeah,
then fucking Mr. Krabs comes fucking Kool-Aid Man in his way to the side of his castle and shit.
I don't know why people had a problem with this series. I mean, it ends tomorrow, so it's fun so far. Maybe it gets dumber in the middle.
You know why? You know why?
I know why.
You know why?
I know why.
Because people want to. The complaints I've heard are the obvious racist as fuck ones, and I'm going to ignore all of those.
Yeah.
Two of our closer friends have complained about the sets looking and feeling cheap. I haven't noticed any of that.
Because they are. But
it's a TV show.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand that this is not the movie, and I think it's unfair to expect that. And I think also, if you're going to start churning out more of these at a quicker clip to keep people interested, not everything is going to be the first season of the fucking Mandalorian.
Yeah. They have the I forgot the volume. That's what they call it. They have the volume. So they can get away with a lot of stuff. And then the built sets they can cheap out on. So like, fuck it.
Right.
Do you want a show or do you want to complain?
This has always been my argue. I'm always here. More Star Wars is always good Star Wars. Like I'm here for all of it. I'll take it all in. Whether I watch it a second time is maybe the question, but there's going to be a fan of it. They're going to fucking love it. And one Star Wars fan is going to beget another Star Wars fan, and generationally, we're going to continue to show it to our kids. And that's rad. And that's how you continue to get rad stuff.
Yeah.
Quit fucking complaining.
Although, having said that, I will complain about the Andor series coming up. Cassian Andor. He is the exact wrong person to from the whole Rogue One thing. He is the worst person. We had our gay space dads right there.
Time. Do we get K2SO?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because if we get the rest of the people around, then there's a better than odds chance that this will be the lead isn't all that interesting and everyone else is fucking great. We have all enjoyed shows that are like that.
Now I'm back, Brandon.
Right. It's like, yeah.
Now I'm back.
Right.
If we get our gay space dads in there, give Donnie Yen a check.
God damn it.
You can afford
He doesn't even have to show up.
You can
George
afford
Lucas,
Donnie Yen money.
Honestly, Donnie Yen should just be sending him Trade Federation videos and his PayPal account.
Yeah.
And just
like,
I'll stop sending these requests when I feel like you've paid enough.
Yeah. Now I'm into it because because of all of I feel like Cassian Andor had a great arc. He starts out as a dickhead, and at the end of it, he's like, okay, maybe I won't shoot some dude.
Right. But we don't know if he's always been that reluctant hero. And we just happen to catch him at the beginning of a bad situation. Fuck, we brought Han back. Han was grizzled and grumpy as fuck. And then by the end, he's like, God damn it, I miss my kid. And you're kind of all right. And Chewie's right. You're a fucking sweetheart. And I hate everything. God damn it, I miss my wife. Yeah, and you're just like, he is the most reluctant,
That's true. God damn it.
I swear to God, I took the fuzzy dice off the Falcon. I stopped drinking 6 months ago and I haven't gambled in a month. Just take me back. Call me. Leia, call me. Leia, I miss our son. Call me.
Oh man.
Because if we all can gather behind, who's scruffy looking, worst space dad managed to kickstart an entire new Darth Vader, and we're like, Han Solo, that's right, let's do this thing. And if Chewie can love him and K2SO can love him, then that's good enough for me, because that's essentially what you did. Yeah. K2SO is just sassy Chewbacca, which is real impressive because Chewbacca is real sassy.
That's true.
We just don't understand him.
Yeah, I like this idea. If we get some of the other cast members, and they'll probably manage to make all the other cast pretty interesting too.
Right.
I dig it.
Plus, we get other parts of the fucking galaxy. And potentially no Skywalkers.
Please. I'm also excited about Taika taking over and starting a new series, because he did mention the same thing. He was like, well, I wouldn't do this if I had to do more Skywalker stuff. So I'm just going to go on and make something new. Make some new Star Wars. Right. We have plenty of world. We have plenty of world building. We can do this. Yeah. And I believe that Taika Waititi will put some weird shit in it. And we need more weird shit in Star Wars, because Star Wars is great. When you have space sushi, a big space whale, and your job is to cut it into pieces, I'm there, because that's some weird shit. That's some weird space shit.
By the way, I don't know why this just popped into my brain, but I'd really like for someone who's part of the Star Wars team, to create a mobile game where you are General Grievous and you are searching through Where's Waldo style photos looking for Kenobi. So this way, when you find him and you circle him on the map, he goes, Kenobi.
Where's Kenobi? And it's worse, because Waldo has red and white stripes. Kenobi is just shades of beige.
Right. He's shades of beige. Right. But he's going to be casually looking back, glinting that beard at him or whatever it is. We'll get getting Tartakovsky to do the art, so it looks like the original Clone Wars stuff. So it'll look super fucking stylized and clean and great looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just do a whole, because then you can add all sorts of fun shit and different planets they've been on and different backgrounds, and you can do big art. Right? Yeah. Right. How good would that be?
Shit, man. I want that now.
Right. Just a simple game, just a children's game. Right, where you're pinching and scrolling, just trying to find him.
Kenobi.
And then you could do other rounds where it's find 9 Jawas. And you're like, all right. And then you fucking start, right. You could use the same maps over and over again and discover new shit. God damn it. This is the easiest thing to do.
What about those those little the droids, the little box droids?
Yes, the little RC car ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Find the RC car.
Find the little one. Yes.
Oh man. Oh.
And then they could just update it with new art every so often and then switch it through, and then it can be a speed round thing where they move them around or they rotate the image or they do because if you make a digital art, you can fucking crop Kenobi in fucking anywhere and do it in multiple layers so you can switch some shit around.
There's a game like that. So 2 dots or dots. I guess it's just called dots. Whatever. But at every 10th level or something like that, there's a mural of stuff, and they give you like objects that you have to find, and so you go through and you have to pick on it. Right. And a lot of it's interactive, so like there are things on the illustration that if you click on it, they'll like shake or they'll move.
Right.
This is perfect.
Right.
Like you could find different sabers. You
can find different sabers. I mean, you could do it the opposite way and make it an Obi-Wan game where when you find General Grievous, he then says Kenobi, because that's all I want is just some sort of thing where you find someone and then Grievous gets fucking excited and says Kenobi. Right.
Just heavy breathing.
Like, yeah, I got a weird soft spot for General Grievous. I don't know why. I think he's a cool character.
Design is great.
The design's rad. He's like
grumpy all the time.
Yeah, he's grumpy and reluctant and weird and has like some sort of odd backstory. And then he reminds me of some sort of horror monster. Because like he very much could do a goddamn, I'm telling you right now, man, a goddamn Jedi horror film.
Yes. Yeah.
Where the Jedi have to hunt other Jedi because one of them has decided that they're going to start hunting people. They can make noises from nowhere. Yeah. They can shift in and out of things. They can move like the fucking wind. They can kick all the lights off. And then the last thing the victim sees before they go is the lightsaber fire up. Right. And then what? May the force be with you? What do they say?
I love this idea because that sound of the laser of the lightsaber open, it's iconic, and if that becomes a horror trigger, that'll fuck you up. Right,
because like we've also learned that they can plunge it through doors and shit like that. So like, how do you stop a Jedi?
How do you stop a Jedi who's decided, fuck it, all y'all bitches are dying?
Right. Like just starts hunting random kids.
Yeah, I think Star Wars needs to do more stuff that's outside of the box.
Right, because the idea of one bad Jedi over the years who decides that they're done doing the right thing and they're not interested in the Empire or the Sith.
Yeah.
They just want to fucking swing that blade.
Because what has it gotten them? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
They don't take a vow of poverty, but they take a vow of poverty. It hasn't gotten him anything. It hasn't made his life any easier. It hasn't made them any safer.
That can be the final thing where they go taking out somebody or whatever it is, and they get into the whole thing. A vow of celibacy, a vow of poverty, a vow of no friends, a vow of nothing but the Jedi Order and the Jedi way without any sort of
no attachment
or consequence, no attachment to anyone or anything, no way to love. Could you imagine living in a world where you have to protect it but not able to love it in any way, shape, or form? Just loosely appreciate its beauty from afar?
Yeah, that would turn somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take much.
And it's not even a Sith thing. It's just this Jedi it's done. Fucking done.
Right. Honestly, we can have them
done.
Have them hunt somebody who's like part of the Jedi Council at the time or something like that. Like before Sam Jackson's there, like we set it pre-prequels. And we just have like a bunch of the same people there, but there's one person who finds that this Jedi has a lover or something like that. And they decide to like exile them to another planet and they end up dying because of the environment out there. And this person finds out and it's like, then you have to die.
Yep.
You have to die.
Yep.
And just starts taking out fucking council members or something like that. And they think it's political and come to find out it is very much anything but.
Yeah. I I like that and they should do it because there's no way they're going to please anybody.
No.
Star Wars fans hate Star Wars. People who love Star Wars hate Star Wars. Like, they're not going to please anybody. So you might as well do some weird shit.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Let's get weird with it.
Like, they leaned into it. They're like, oh, the fans don't like the sequels. Let's do what they want. They did what they want, and everybody hates that movie.
Yeah, because you should never give nerds what they ask for.
Yeah, the nerds who hated the sequels hate that movie. Right. The people who love the sequels hate that movie.
Right.
So you're not going to please anyone. Just make weird shit. Make weird shit. Like that.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Good shit is good regardless of the fan and regardless of the fan feedback. Trust me.
Yeah. I think they should just make weird shit. I love the idea of a horror Star Wars. You and I keep coming back to this anthology series with the weirder shit.
We get way the fuck out into it.
Yeah. Every time I'm worried about Star Wars, we always manage to make it exciting again.
Only a mostly racist allegory about war, Jamie. How bad can it be?
Keep fucking up. And that's
all right. Let's fucking wrap this thing.
Yeah, you did mention about Sung Kang getting no heat, and I have not seen any heat on Sung Kang at all. And it's the hat. It's the tricorner.
Oh yeah, it's a tricorner hat. Yeah, little bit of colonialism goes a long way. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Brandon.
We see some Paul Revere shit, and all of a sudden we're like,
I like the.
Hang on a second. Right? Yeah. I was about to write a strongly worded tweet, but I'm actually deleting these characters. How about that? Add George Lucas. Nice hat.
Nice hat, sir. All right, Brandon, where can people find you?
On Instagram at that guy Chalmers. Jamie Noguchi, where can they find you?
On Tatooine, cutting up some motherfucking space sushi.
Goddamn right. Tuna Sandbar. Yeah.
Tuna Sandbar. Jamie Noguchi on Instagram, Angry Zen Master on Twitter, and wherever fine podcasts are sold. And we'll see you next week.
Be excellent to each other. Do something nice for somebody.
Let's go, Brandon.
No.
I see your sign.